Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Popping in a little quick video. Y'all forgive me. I'm in my Sprinter today, so a little bigger. But I wanted to share this for the mothers who got teenage sons. Or even if you got a 10-year-old son or older, you share this with him. And for the men who on the channel, because one of the things I'm seeing that's real, is very distorted, is I'm noticing that a lot of men don't understand what manhood is. See, a lot of men just equate manhood to bravado and machismo. Men think that manhood is knowing how to change the oil on a car, knowing how to change the tire. And those things really have nothing to do with manhood. And a lot of women think that too. They have nothing to do with manhood. And it's like, if you know how to do those things, congratulations. Congratulations. But it's other men who know how to make $1 trillion like Jeff Bezos and look like he can't bust a grape. It's men who know how to make billions of dollars like Elon Musk. Do you think they changing tires? Do you think they fixing their own electricity in their house? No, they not. Manhood have nothing to do with how many push-ups you could do, how many sit-ups you could do, how much punishment you could take in a boxing ring, in an octagon, on the MMA. It have nothing to do with manhood. You know what manhood is? Manhood is accepting responsibility for your choices. Manhood is about making good choices, making the right choice. Manhood is about integrity. Who are you when nobody's looking? Do you steal? Do you lie? Do you cheat? Do you do things that you know your mama wouldn't be proud of, your daddy wouldn't be proud of, God wouldn't be proud of? See, manhood is about discipline and self-control. Manhood is about temperament, meaning having a good attitude when things aren't going your way, meaning de-escalating situations when it can blow up and get out of hand. See, that's what manhood is about. Manhood has nothing to do with how physically strong you are. Has nothing to do with how much weight you can lift. I used to bench press 340 pounds in college, and I weighed 170 pounds. I was the only player on the football team that could bench press 200% of their body weight, meaning twice what I weighed. For those of y'all who not good with percentages, I was the only player. I ran a 4.4 in the 40. One of two players that could run a 4.4 or faster. Really ran a 4.36. I had a 40-inch vertical. The only play I had the highest vertical on the team out of 95 players. Do you think that made me a man? No, that didn't make me a man. Freshman year, I slept with 28 women on the college campus. It probably was only 100 women on our college campus that was even cute, because it was a small college of like 1,600 people. Good amount of men, good amount of women. Think that made me a man? No, I was weak. I was insecure. I was lost. I was searching. Although I was an amazing athlete, although I was very strong, although I was smart in the classroom, that don't make you a man. Manhood is about your choices. Manhood is about your integrity. Manhood is about who are you when no one is looking. If you don't learn how to change a tire in your life, so what? Learn how to make money. To hire a man who drive a tow truck that can come change your tire if it go flat. And that don't make you less of a man because you got the money to hire a tow truck and because he the one driving the tow truck. Because I guarantee you the one driving the tow truck will much rather be able to afford a tow truck than to have to be working it in the middle of the night, changing tires on the side of the road while his woman at home by herself, while his daughter is at home waking up from nightmares thinking of a monster in the closet. Y'all hold on. I messed around and swallowed too hard. Got that cold air blowing on me. Oh, look like a concert. Look like a concert out there. Okay. Now listen, we live in Florida. There ain't gonna be a mask in sight. Down here in Florida, you ain't gonna find a mask in sight at a concert, at a game. We don't know nothing about no mask no more. So listen to me now. You think this man that know how to change tires want to be changing tires 3 o'clock in the morning while his daughter is up crying because she think a monster in her closet? You see what I'm saying? We got manhood mixed up. We think manhood is just about how dirty you can get your hands. We think manhood is about physical labor. No. That was given to a man because that's what we had to do. Those the only job that we could get, especially if you are of the black race, that was the only job you could get, physical labor. We come from slavery. So because we come from slaves, we was doing physical labor. And then when we got free from slavery, they put laws in place to where it'll trip us up and send us to prison, and we doing more labor. So the country was built on the back of the man doing physical labor, building the buildings, building the railroads. That was 99.9% of men doing those physical jobs. So that's what we equate to manhood. But guess what? It was some people who they say, well, I'm not finna, I own the railroad track. I own the train company. I own Amtrak. I own Greyhound. So my son going to private school. He's not going down there to the public school. I'm gonna send him to private school because I want a smaller environment. And so they started doing that. Guess what? I ain't finna make my son go out and do no physical labor, because the men out there doing physical labor is miserable and wish they could sit behind a desk and make 6 or 7 figures. This is what the man's saying, right? So he sent his son to private school, get him an education. Private school, they start teaching him about computers. These men start building computers. Then they start coding. They start learning all this software. They ain't got nothing to do with a greasy, dirty hand. And then they start making billions. And guess what? With the millions and the billions, they got just as many women as the men who had dirty, greasy hands. They got just as many cars, just as many houses, just as many clothes. Jeff Bezos been lifting weights. Now he got muscles. You see what I'm saying? So now they start to redefine manhood and say, listen, it ain't about working harder. It's about working smarter. And so today we still have a lot of men that don't understand manhood. A lot of men think that manhood means how many women you can get, how many women like you, how much money you can make, how much weights you can lift, how dirty you could get your hands. That ain't manhood. You're not a man if you don't have self-control. You're not a man if you don't have discipline. If you can't discipline yourself to do the right thing and to do what you're supposed to do, you're not a man yet. You're a boy. And if you're over the age of 18, if you're 18 or older, then you're a grown boy. But see, manhood is about discipline. Manhood is about self-control. Manhood is about decision making. Manhood is about integrity. And that's what I need you to understand. If you under the age of 18 and your mama or your auntie or your grandma showed you this video, or your uncle or your brother or your daddy showed you this video so you could hear it a different way, sit down and get some more lessons on what does integrity mean. What do I mean by decision making? What do I mean by self-control, temperament? That's manhood. Stop worrying about how many women you can get, how many girls like you, how much weight you could lift, how big your muscles could be, how many cars, how many clothes, how many watches. That ain't manhood. We got manhood confused. Men lifting all these weights, men doing all this handyman work, doing all this. Electrician wrote me. He said, man, I got to make more money. He said, man, I need more money. That's what we define as manhood. Blue collar. Guess what? My mentee was blue collar. He was all about blue collar. He white collar now. He sit behind a desk and he punch keys on a laptop, and now he's trying to come up with a software to make his job even easier, and now he's making more money than he done ever made. And you know what he used to do? He used to cut down trees. He used to put in auto glass. He used to do all of the stuff that we think define a man. It's great if you could do those things. It's great to learn trades. It's great to know how to do that, but it does not define manhood. If you do that, but you got to get drunk and high, you're not a man. If you could do all the handyman stuff in the world, if you all athletic and strong and all of that, but you don't have self-control, you don't have temperament, you don't have integrity, you're not a man. So listen, we need to revamp and understand what manhood is now. I'm trying to tell you, because that's what's breaking our society down, is men not understanding what manhood is. And if we need a woman to redefine it, or not redefine, but reiterate what womanhood is. I'm not a woman, so I can't fully understand women and what womanhood is. But it could be the equivalent of manhood in the sense of integrity, class, respect, dignity, self-control, decision-making, and all of the above. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.